Jeez, that's what I get for trying to impress you guys. Anyways, welcome back to another episode. If you're new around here, I do filmmaking and photography videos on my channel. We talk creative process, we talk camera gear, we talk technical skills, and after all that quickly becomes boring, I just do whatever I want. And if you've been subscribed for a minute around here, God bless you and thank you for your service. Buckle up. We are doing one for the YouTube algorithm today, baby. That's right, it's a drone episode. This is the part of the video where anything seems possible, so maybe subscribe, maybe drop a like, maybe comment something nice below. I don't know. This is my job, that's yours. Today I'm going to share with you guys my top 5 favorite drone moves to do when I'm shooting my own commercial projects. I'm going to do my best to show exactly how I execute these moves while in the air, and also what they mean from a visual language perspective. Remember, in the world of art, stuff should mean things, so the images we use in our projects matter. Disclaimer: don't crash your drone trying these moves. I don't recommend it. I don't know if I'd consider these moves advanced, but they're certainly not the first thing I would do with a brand new drone if I was a beginner pilot. Also, I wouldn't try these moves in high wind or around power lines. So just be careful and be smart. I've been flying for like a little over 5 years now professionally, and these moves that we're going to go over are still challenging for me. Let's quickly talk about the gear and video specs I'll be using for this video. Today, I'm flying my DJI MAVIC 3 with the 4-stop ND filter on. I'll be using the remote controller, or RC, that came with the drone. I have not purchased the DJI RC Pro with the screen built in, not in this economy. I'll be referring to the controllers on the RC as sticks when talking about actual flying techniques. I'm hoping that doesn't get too annoying. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this and they're thinking to themselves, hey, just show me the drone stuff and I'll try it. I don't care how. I mean, I'm smart enough to use YouTube, so I can figure it out. Also, my RC controls are obviously located in certain places and control certain different functions. Your own RC could be totally different, so obviously keep that in mind. And you also might be thinking to yourself, shoot, I don't know nothing about no DJI Magic 3. Well, it's your lucky day, jabroni. I did a whole video reviewing that drone, and I'll just link it up here for you. Okay, video specs. I shot all the drone clips for this video in 5.1K in 50 frames per second, H.264 with auto white balance, but everything else is in manual. Okay, let's begin. Number 1, drone descent with a push-in. I will apologize for the names of these moves only once, but just know that I remain sorry. But oh, this one is a classic. Here the drone is descending while also moving forward. That push-in is what really makes this satisfying in my opinion. With the move, you're mostly mimicking a traditional crane-in shot that you've seen in more films than you realize. So as a camera technique, this move is quite old, or just obviously using a drone instead of a crane. Or you can just buy yourself a techno crane for like, I don't know, $80,000. Not in this economy. So on my little RC, my left stick controls both ascent and descent. My right stick controls forward and backward. Therefore on this move, we are left stick down and right stick forward with light pressure. Light pressure. We aren't flooring it here. I personally don't use any camera tilt in these shots. I prefer to keep it level. From a visual language point of view, this shot drops the viewer into the scene from a high angle to a low one, as if from heaven. It signals the beginning of something. As a viewer, you're being dropped down into a new world, but also pushed in once you get there. It's a visual representation of a starting line, and you as a filmmaker, well, it's up to you to fire the starting pistol. That's why I listed it first. Number 2, lateral flying with a camera tilt. What'd I tell you about the names for these moves? But with this move, we're flying the drone laterally while tilting the camera from a down position to up. The more camera tilt occurring, the more interesting the shot in my opinion. You don't need a long flight path here, just focus on getting your subject in frame properly. On my RC, we're going to need to use a new button though, look out. For this move, I'll need to use my camera tilt button, which is a turn dial kind of thing. So we'll be on right stick with the left or right lateral flight path, while simultaneously pressing the camera tilt button with light pressure on both controllers. Light pressure. And this is why I said these moves might be considered a little bit advanced. But this shot is really all about style. You can use it to reveal a subject or location, but I think it looks best in a montage. For narrative work, I'd probably not use this drone move, but for a commercial project is easy money. Your commercial clients will love this kind of stuff. Number 3, dolly zoom. The final product of this shot is achieved both out in the field while you're shooting it, but also back in your editing software. Once in the air, you can either fly your drone forward towards the subject or backwards away from it. Either direction works. I actually prefer to fly my drone backwards because it somehow goes in a straighter flight path. On the RC, I'm simply right stick forward with light pressure. Light pressure! Just Tom cruising on forward, but with a slightly different church. Well, we ain't done yet. I'll be using Adobe Premiere Pro for this example. After you got your video clip, you'll need to drop it into your editing software and use keyframes to add an artificial zoom. Once your video clip is on the timeline, you'll be adding 2 keyframes and adjusting your image scale accordingly for the best effect. My clip is about 4 seconds long with scale keyframes that are going from 105 to 145. Keep in mind on my clip I'm flying in reverse, but you may want to fly forward. In that case, I'd apply my keyframes in the opposite way. And there you go, look at us, we're bloody Marvel Studios out here. Like the last camera move we just went over, this one is all about style too. You've certainly seen this camera technique in a lot of movies and other media before, but I find it mostly over stylized while also being kind of a cliche in that medium. But again, use this camera technique in a commercial for a car dealership, for instance, and your client will douse their trousers. Next! Number 4, drone descent with a tilt up. For this move, I'm flying my drone in a descent and tilting the camera from up to down. I like to start this move with the camera already tilted down though. It just looks a little more interesting. On my RC, I'm left stick down with my index finger on the camera tilt button, all using one hand with light pressure. Light pressure! It might take you a few tries to get these moves right, so stay patient. Your controls might respond a little bit different. This shot looks great in a commercial montage, but you really do need to have the right subject matter for the best results. I think this camera technique looks best with large objects that are also very tall, like this church steeple or Yao fucking Ming. It's definitely a style first camera technique, and I would never use it to reveal any truly vital information to the viewer. But again, throw this on some of your commercial work and your clients are going to be making lemonade and fudge. Number 5, arching pan. Okay, last one here. For this drone move, I'm flying laterally with a slight camera rotation. We're certainly not doing a full rotation here, maybe not even half. We just want a little arching movement around an item of interest. I really like this move when moving around readable signage. On the RC, I am right stick flying laterally, left or right, and left stick rotating the drone itself in the opposite direction with light pressure. Light pressure! That drone move, just like all the other ones that we've been discussing, are visually interesting because our eyes just can't naturally track objects like that, or we can't do it without great strain. So when we see those kinds of visuals achieved with camera techniques, our brains just find it visually satisfying. This specific technique works best when shooting a subject with more horizontal than vertical interest. Think like the Hollywood sign instead of that last example with the tall church steeple, or Yao fucking Ming. A couple Yao Ming shots in this video, okay? And that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of my favorite drone moves. Please comment any questions you have below and I'll do my best to answer it. I tried to keep this information as easy to understand as possible, but these moves are not easy to pull off in the air, so if you have any questions at all, just let me know. Remember to try these moves with your own drone with caution. If one of us crash, that means we all crash. Or at the very least, we'll all laugh at you. I don't want you to throw out the rule book and become some kind of hotshot drone pilot. I mean, this ain't Top Gun 2 over here, a movie famously starring Jennifer Connelly. And did you guys know she did all her own stunts for that movie? I mean, same here. New video, here we go! So remember to like and subscribe, and for sure comment below any topics you want me to cover in the future. I know everything, and I'd be happy to make you feel like you know everything too. Oh yeah, and I need to quickly mention my YouTube shorts because I posted several of those on my channel so far. Those are literally just super quick camera features that are just like, hey, here's this piece of camera gear, this is how I use it. I mean, I know that there's people on YouTube who are only on the site because they want to hear people just talk about camera gear, so those shorts get right down to business for you freaks. Alright gang, time to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.